Monochrome Nightmare is the fifth full-length album from Germ Bomb, a Gothenburg, Sweden-based metal punk band, and one that combines, I would say, the general kind of motor punk feeling, the Motorhead-influenced speed and thrash metal on some of their earlier records, the hardcore punk of their past, a little bit of Amoebics, a little bit of Samhain in some of their almost post-punkish feeling songs. And that sound had developed over the course of their first four records. Essentially, their 2019 record, Just Sucked Out, was the one that established a lot of the parameters that they're working with here on this latest album. All that really gets us in terms of a description is a sort of a speed thrash metal influenced band with punk influences that are fairly classic. The way that that translates to this record is maybe a more tuneful version of what they were doing on that last record, one that still has bits of Celtic Frost. It still has some of that Misfits style melodicism to it. There's obviously much more modern influences that we could point to, but if we're looking for base level appeal, that is what you'll kind of get from it. Is there's a bit of doom, a bit of punk, and a little bit of extreme metal in some of their feeling. Most of it is just tuneful, and this is their own sound, which they'd established about 2013, 2015 on their second and third records. So if you're looking for precedents in their discography, look to Sound of Horns and Under a Fading Sun for a similar sound, but a different approach that was maybe more informed by the thrash metal and crossover of the time. Now, this record is much more focused on a darker sound or bleak outlook, and it keeps up with maybe the personae of the band throughout the years. But we'll cut to a song here just to get a sense of maybe in what ways they become more tuneful and in how they've evolved this sound of theirs.
Tiden läker sår. Allt har ett pris. Ge mig medicin.
So have they gone and become a post-punk band in the meantime? Have they become a gothic crossover band? You know, what's the deal with this record? I think that it's proving that they can write songs with the sound that they've developed. I think that over the last several years and several releases, they've proven that they can find all these subgenre ticks and use them to their own in their own way, and they've developed their own unique sound, but the songwriting was never so up to par that it was just undeniably catchy, good, or interesting in its point of view. And I think that what Monochrome Nightmare finally does is prove that they can write songs, you know, that they can write catchier pieces that don't rely on subgenre traits to be effective. So we get the faster punk songs that rush out a chorus. We get death rock songs. We get kind of grungier L7 riffs. We get a lot of different things that really work for me. Otherwise, it's not that deep. You know, this is a catchy record in some respects, and I think that's going to be worth it for a very specific type of fan and someone who's willing to look for a little bit of a weird outlier for something interesting. And I think that if you liked the sort of Misfits and Samhain influenced side of the band in the past, we do hear much more of that in the vocals this time around, and I particularly like that. I think they did a great job with it, and yeah, I didn't think I would like this record that much the first time I went through it, but as I returned to it, there were a couple of songs where I kept hitting repeat because they were that good. So check it out if that sounds like it's to your own taste. It released today on April 30th as I'm recording this, and go ahead and read my review for more information.
Tomorrow!